Hello, welcome to the Lawrence Farm. Today we are putting up some temporary electric net fencing. This particular fence we purchased from Premier One Supplies. Ken Cove Fence is another supplier, and I suppose there are others as well. But most of the net fence that we use comes from Premier. This field, we call it the Central Pinelands, is one of our newer fields that is transitioning from being a pine plantation to a grassland area suitable for grazing sheep. It is one of our larger field areas and is completely enclosed by this multi-strand, high-tensile electric fence. The Central Pinelands contains grazing, scrub, and woodland areas and contains a small stream and drainage area that goes through the north side of it. Where that stream enters and leaves the field, the boundary fence is particularly porous to guardian dogs going out and coyotes coming in. So that's the rationale for using the net fence to separate the woodland, bottomland, and stream areas on the right side of the fence from the grazing areas on the left side of the fence. The electric net fencing is fairly easily and rapidly installed and provides a very effective barrier keeping coyotes out and guardian dogs in. Of course, the first step for installing the fence is to tie off the end of the fence to the perimeter fence. Construction goes faster if two people are involved, where the first person lays out and preliminarily stretches the fence along the desired route, and the second person comes along putting the posts in the ground and stretching each section along the way. If fence bundles are strategically located along the route, then the first person can keep going with the next bundle. This minimizes walking back and forth when putting up the fence. There are a few woodsy drainage areas that extend into the main field that have to be cleared before we can continue with the fence. With the fence coming through the drainage area that Jeffrey cleared, there needs to be a sharp change in direction on the other side. The net fence will support gentle sweeping turns, but not a sharp change in direction like this. So we place a T-post that can be used to anchor the first stretch of fence and also be used to start the next section of fence. To maintain electrical continuity between sections of fence, we put together the end clips that bundle together all conducting strings of the fence. If you have never seen an electric fence string, it is just a braid of several plastic threads along with 2 or 3 thin metal wires. The metal wires carry the electrical current and also provide the shock when an animal touches the fence. So with the last section of fence finished, Jeffrey unwraps and shakes out the next section of fence, puts in the end post next to the end of the last section fence post, and then ties them together. The 2 electrical connector clips are put together, and he proceeds to lay out the next section of fence. I follow behind and push the plastic posts into the ground. The plastic posts have a metal tip that goes into the ground about 5 inches. The ground is nice and soft this time of year. There are times when it is dry that we need to go and do some gentle tapping with a hammer to get the post to go in. We've even on occasion used a very large nail to make a pilot hole for the post to go into. Fortunately, that is not a frequent occurrence. We're almost to the end of where we want to get with the temporary fence, but we have to go through a short patch of woods first. This will require a little bit more work with the brush cutter and some chainsaw time. So here's the cleared path through the bottom area. You can see some standing water and some little rivulets of water. We are ready to put in the last section of fence. Typically the fence is stored by gathering up all the posts, rolling up the net around the posts, and then tying some string around it to make a bundle. To install, one just unties the string, shakes out the net, then releases each post in sequence as you walk along the fence path. Sometimes the bottom string gets looped around the metal post and has to get straightened around. The black bottom string goes along at ground level and is not electrified. Of course, a length of fence is not always a perfect fit for the distance needed. Usually there will be some left over. In this case, we can just put it off to the side. One always has to have a rigid post to stretch and tie the net fence to. Here we put in a T-post. If there is a lot of extra fence, one can just use one of the intermediate posts to tie off the fence and double back around the remaining. One can also use a separate insulated post to be the end post and double back around it. And so we are finished, ready to bring in some sheep. Thanks for watching. See you next time.